Alright, what's up guys? So today I'm going to do another what sold video. Cue the game show music. Got my coffee and we'll hop right in. We're doing first thing first. Forgot to pull up my Google sheet, but I always go off my Google sheet. Whatever sells, whatever I'm needing to do in the mornings, I kind of go through the same. Just making sure that I am actually recording. Everything that I need to do every morning I have right here on my admin schedule, my everyday. So we'll start here, which is what sold. So we're going to update seller board and update the media purchased sheet, which is my Google sheet. So as you can see, I made 120 as the title says, but that's in sales. So we need to always break it down to make sure that we know exactly like what we're making, because this is what seller board really does for me. I know that you can probably find this out another way, but seller board just breaks it down, because I made 120, but in reality I made negative $38.59 in net profit. Now why is that? So let's go into it a little bit deeper. You see, I made 120 sales, sold 2 units. The Amazon fees added up to $48.07, and the cost of goods was $45.52. Expenses $65, so that ends up with a net profit of $38. I will get paid out $71, but that doesn't really matter. The real number that matters is net profit, and it wasn't good yesterday. So the reason being is Amazon fees mainly. So all of these add up, as you can see, as an inbound convenience fee. So all of these are because of this right here. If you look, these are the 2 that sold, the Sony A7 II and the 2.5 min, and then everything below that, underneath units sold, you can see 1 and 1. So we sold these 2 right here, but everything below that is what is being shipped in. So a shipment got shipped in. So we have a shipment confirmed. So if you look on my admin schedule, every day we're doing this first, and then after that, since we have a shipment confirmed, we're going to be doing that. We're going to be updating all the cogs and seller board, adding SKUs on media purchased, and updating Be Cool, my repricer. So with all of those shipping fees coming out, that's what ended up giving me a negative profit number. And on top of that, because it's not just the Amazon fees that killed me, it was $48. I also had an expense come out, which was my QuickBooks subscription. So that was another $65, since Amazon makes us do the 2 different. I have to sell on Mexico and Canada, so I have to do the conversion rate, and QuickBooks makes you pay extra for the conversion rate on those. So what we're doing, just like last time on the other episode, we're going to take the title of this, we're going to copy it, and we're going to move over. Looks like I listed it on 2024, August 2024. So I'll come over to my 2024 media purchase spreadsheet, and I'll paste it. I'll do Control F if you don't know that, but I'll paste it in so we could find it, and there it is. And yep, we bought it on 7/27, and we sold it on 4/18/25. Okay, now I'm pop back over your seller board. We got total sales of 60, and total estimated payout is 43.51. So we got 60 and 43.51. And this is kind of our more accurate number, I would say, because seller board, it doesn't take out my when it comes to this estimated payout and net profit, it doesn't actually take out the what do you call that, prep center fee. Once I put in the expenses, what the prep center charged me, then that's where this number will update, and for the month it will update. So I'll have, you know, a better accurate number once I take that out. So if you want to know, like, per book what your accurate number is, always put in, so you can see right here, prep center. I always have the prep center fee added in if it did go to the prep center, and then just a dollar miscellaneous fee for anything that, you know, not thinking about, storage fees, you know, any kind of supplies you needed to buy and stuff. And then so that probably about 1582 is our actual profit, which gave us like a 64% ROI on this 2444 spent. All right, and moving on, I got 2.5 Men complete box series. Oh wait, hop over to 2024, Control F, and paste this in, and we sold this one actually a couple days ago again, as well. So we sold this one on 4/18/25, 60. So we sold for 60, and then our estimated payout is 41.64. 41.64. So it's always weird because I sold this one just a couple days ago at $60, 3 days ago at $60, and I gotta pay out more this time, which I never understand. But anyways, I prepped this one myself and shipped it into Amazon myself, so I don't have any prep center fees, so I don't leave these blank right here and just take a MISC fee out, like whatever a box cost, you know, and stuff like that. And so that gives me a total of $19.56 off of a $21.08, which is 92% ROI. So that's pretty dang good. This top one I probably won't like track. It's not like an amazing book, and honestly this one I won't track either. This one I got lucky and got a great deal on 2 of these, and I don't think that I'll be able to get that deal easily again, so I'm not going to track it. I'm kind of getting more picky with what I'm tracking. But anyways, that's the first part of our everyday admin work, is updating seller board, updating media spreadsheet, and that tells us exactly, you know, what we made. Negative 38.59, which, you know, kind of sucks, but you know, it is what it is. Especially on this during this season, you don't really make a whole lot of sales, so it's kind of hard to make up your expenses and stuff. So we'll move on. Stranded inventory, with our next admin work schedule. I do stranded inventory every day. Today is a little different, just because if we go in and look at our stranded inventory, come in here, price alerts, there's a lot more. There's 24, so I usually have like 1 or 2 that I have to look at, but there's 24 this time, and the reason being is because of this right here. Shipment was confirmed. And when that happens, you'll come in here and you'll see that, like, this book is $199.99, this book $199.99, this book $199.99. So that's telling me that, you know, a shipment has been confirmed, and my prep center has priced everything at $199.99, and so a whole bunch of books that aren't gonna sell for that price have been flagged and, you know, put into, not this one, I sold this one, have been flagged and put into stranded inventory because $199.99 is too much, you know. So what I have to do is go through here, and I have it right here. Oh, I don't have it. I have it on my printed out sheet here, but I have to update stranded inventory. Okay. So we'll skip this one for now since we're not going to do it. eBay sales, I do have one, I believe, that I sold yesterday, but this is Amazon Jones channel, so we're not going to go into the eBay sales too much. So we'll pop over here to the update for the prep center spreadsheet, which I do believe I have some to check in, And then as well as you see all this red here, if you're, using Central Virginia Prep, you obviously know what that is, but that means that these are books that they don't deem acceptable at all to sell in, or something's wrong with them, they're missing something or whatever. Like, they'll even put in a note right here, pages falling out. Yeah, definitely don't send one of those in. But these 3 I've already taken care of, and then these ones popped up yesterday. I will probably handle those today, but just not right now. It's not enough time. But what I will do is I'll check these in. So this one got checked in yesterday, so I'll take the title, throw it into 2025, put it in the Control F, and then I'll just in the checked in column right here, I'll do 418, and dang it. And it does seem like a lot, to have to do every time, but trust me, it saves you a ton of money. I wasn't checking my books in for a long time, and I kept getting lost inventory. I kept getting like, where the heck is this book? Where the heck is that book? And it would be months after I realized I was missing them. And what was happening is a lot of these companies that you buy from, sometimes they don't ship it, or it gets lost in the mail. I don't really know for sure, but something happens on the way, and if you don't check them in, you're actually losing a ton of money. And I didn't realize that until I started doing that. And on top of that, some of them will send you the wrong book completely, and that's you're just gonna have to check your books in. You don't have to use my method by any means, but you do have to find a way to make sure that your books come in. Like, I got some books behind me right now that I sent to myself. I still need to check those in and stuff, and that's a whole ordeal. But yeah, so that's it. That's all it takes. As long as you do it every day, it's pretty easy to check the books in, and you can see like all my checked in books up here, and all the books I'm still waiting on. If you come up here and you get into like a couple months away, like these books might be right behind me. I need to check my books in, because as you see right here, I have self-prep, so that means I sent it to myself. But all of these other books are pretty much taken care of and accounted for, except for the iClickers. Haven't checked those in yet. I know I have them over there, I just haven't done that. Some stuff I need to do still. But I always have a date, that way I know exactly what happened. If there isn't a date like this one, means that if I deleted everything, I need to delete this though. If I deleted the price and shipping, the quantity, as you look over here, it says canceled or returned to vendor. So that I know that something happened, and I either returned it or the vendor themselves, the seller themselves has canceled the order. But anyways, moving on. So that's every day. We've taken care of that in less than 15 minutes, and I'm also talking and stuff. So this doesn't take real long if you do it every day. But all of these are very important to keep on top of. I just didn't do the eBay sales or the update stranded inventory, because we're going to do that next, actually. So now that a shipment has been confirmed, I always get an email anyways telling me this shipment is confirmed. But if you don't check your email, or don't get the emails or something, you can come over here on, if you're using Central Virginia Prep. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. If you use the Central Virginia Prep, you can come over here and just click on this, and these are all the books that got sent in for me 2 days ago, or at least the shipment got started 2 days ago. So now I know that there has been a shipment has been confirmed. So what I'm going to do now is, this part right here is the most time-consuming part of this whole admin work. And it doesn't really matter, if you keep up with it or not. It's just time-consuming. So you could probably, maybe, no. So the reason why it's so time-consuming is because you have to wait for either yourself if you're prepping yourself, or your prep center, to upload these to Amazon, because seller board's not gonna know what you have. Be Cool's not going to know what you have, and obviously Amazon's not going to know what you have until you have uploaded it into some form of shipping. So once you do that, once you do confirm the shipment and everything gets uploaded, just going to come into your seller board, and I just filter it through the cogs. And then unfortunately, a lot of these, like this one, and this one, I've use like credit card points, so I don't really have any payment on these. So that's one thing that's going to be confusing with this, but you can obviously tell which ones are which, because right here 2025, or it'll tell you when it got shipped in, if you have your SKU set up that way. Mine just tells me, hey, you shipped it in at this date and stuff. So I shipped it in at that date, and then now I need to know, like, what did I pay for this? There's a couple ways that you can do this. What I just do is just do this, copy, throw it in the 2025 spreadsheet, and then my price plus shipping is right here. So I paid $48.95 for this. The reason I do it this way is because I can also make sure I did check it in. Every now and then, there's days where I miss and mess up and stuff. So, wait, what was it? $48.95. Boom. All right. So that one's good. And you have to press save. You always have to save it, but I'm going to keep going until I've gotten a couple of them updated. Or actually, before we move on, what we need to do, as you can see on here, we also need to update the cogs, and we also need to update the spreadsheet, which we just did. Add the SKUs. See, this is why I have this sheet, because it reminds me. Update the SKUs on the spreadsheet. So in my past, I haven't been doing this, haven't been updating the SKUs and stuff, but it's kind of important to I guess single out the individual book on your inventory. So if you have any questions about this specific book, you can take this SKU and then you can throw it in your inventory, because especially when it comes to like college books and high school books and stuff, you might have multiple of this one book, and it's just really nice to be able to single it out and find it. But sometimes you have multiple books on one SKU, which is probably best practice to do. As of right now, I haven't done that. I've got each book has its individual SKU, but might change that later on though, just because going through the high school masterclass with the Joji Davenport and Victor Gallegos, they kind of tell you that it's kind of nice to have it all in one SKU. That way, whenever someone's buying multiple, you don't have any issues. But so this one, I've got a whole bunch. So I ordered a whole bunch at the same time. So I'm going to go in a little bit deeper, make sure that all of them did check in. I could probably just come over here and then paste it in here. This is so yeah, I got 7 of them that have shipped in on this shipment. So I can come back over here. Over here, and so they're $11.58 each. So even though I have multiple of them, I'm still gonna put $11.58, and I believe that all of those are gonna be on the same SKU. Let's make sure. It doesn't give me a SKU on here, but I'm pretty sure they are. I could probably let's hop over here to inventory. And that's another thing I just thought about. All the stranded inventory, I believe, is not going to be in here. So on seller board, because it's stranded, they're not. I don't know. I guess they're not uploading it. I can't remember actually, but I don't believe so. So once you update your stranded inventory, you also have to come in here and update your seller board and the Be Cool once we get to that point. But let's post that in here. Yeah, they're all underneath this same SKU, 0030. Yeah, 0030. So yeah. Oh, and I forgot to put the SKU in. Copy. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. All right. So we paste that in. What the heck? Paste. There we go. Yeah, you could just drag it down, but that makes it like 31, 32, 33, 30, you know. Just don't do that. I didn't check all these in. See, this is why I always like to go to my spreadsheet. That way I know that my spreadsheet's up to date and no issues. All right, and something we haven't been doing is Be Cool. I need to hop over here to Be Cool and update this. This is why this is the most time-consuming part of the admin work. You're just pretty much getting everything done up front. That way you don't have to do it every time you have a book sell, you know, because I used to do it like that, where whenever something would sell on seller board, I would just add the cogs and do all that, and then I would update the Be Cool after every shipment still, and then the stranded inventory whenever I could get around to it. So this just makes it easier to where I can, you know, get a hold of it up front and everything and not have to worry about it too much. Let's do this one first. Copy, paste. All right, so this. What was the price? We got $48.95. So we add the $48.95 to the Be Cool as the cost. Now we have to go in and find the min and max price. So for the min price, I'll come down here to the keep a graph once it loads. There it is. And this is definitely looks like a college book. So I'll come back here and I'll look and I'll find the shoulder price. Like looks like $100, probably 99. That's a perfect shoulder price for me. 50% ROI, $24 profit. That's perfect for me. Now, you can go lower if you want, but I don't see it necessary because you don't want to put it down at this price. Because I mean, I bought it for 48 something dollars. So you don't really want to, you know, get it sold down here at 50 and make a negative profit. So you need to put your min price up here to where whenever the season comes, it sells at the right price and not down here at 47. So we'll put the min price at 80. And then as for the max, it's a little more, I just find the peak and put it at the peak, because like 160 is probably going to be the peak, I would say. I mean, you can put it up here for the buy box used and stuff, but they're, you run the risk of getting the high pricing error and getting it taken off. But this one doesn't go above 199, so you probably could put it up there. Let's see what the past has done. Oh man, past has done a lot more. Back here, it's popped up into 245, 244, and it's kind of low, honestly. Especially, well, it's higher compared from a year ago, so it's a little bit higher than it was, but it's higher. It's not as low as it has been. So I'd probably even go up to 200. Yeah, might as well, just to see what we can get. And then throw that on there. Boom. That is all you need. So the art of conducting, done. Took us a little bit to do all that, you know. It takes time, you know. Stay up to date and everything. There's one thing that sucks about selling books is you have to do them individually. You can't just do, a whole bunch of them at the same time. Except for this one, I mean, there are going to be your seasonal books that you'll have multiple of on one SKU, and makes it a little bit easier, but you're still wanting to go pretty wide. Don't go so deep on one book unless you're just completely confident that that one book is going to perform amazing. Like this book, I'm confident it's going to perform fairly good because it's a high school book, as you'll see in a second. So I bought 7 of them, which I could probably go deeper on this one, but I'm looking to go, fairly, really wide and just fairly deep. I don't want to go 50 plus on a book yet. I'm still learning the seasonal aspect of everything, but you can see that this bowl right here is huge. It goes all the way. It starts in July, it starts in June, really. It starts in June and just kind of stays selling like crazy. You can't even see the drops anymore until looks like September, mid-September. So this is an amazing high school book. So I'm confident that I'm going to get this sold. I got it for $11 something, and looks like it'll easily sell in the 40s, 50s, somewhere in there. And if you want to take consideration the buy box, it could sell for that 60 price, but that's not what we do. We go off the lowest used offer count. That way don't have any issues. All right, so we're gonna put the min. Wait, I always like to put the min price in here. So if I sold for 30, we're breaking even. If I sold for 35, making 4. If I sold for 40, we're making 74% ROI, $8 profit. So that's kind of where I'm gonna put this at. Probably put it at the 40 price. That gives it plenty of room to work. We'll even bring it down to 30. No, we'll do 40. That's a little. I like to widen the gap between the max price and the min price a little more than that usually, but it is what it is. And this does have a higher used offer count than usual, but it sells so much, I'm not too worried about that. We'll put the max price. We'll put it at 70 just to try to widen it a little bit more. Not that I think that I'll get it sold at that price, but it'd be nice if I did. All right. And then the next one. So this is 25. I think I got this one for free with points, but let's double check. Throw this in here. Yeah, I got it for free. So I used my credit card points to buy this book, and I think it's a really good one. So we don't need to really update anything on here. It'll just stay 0. And then I'll come over here, paste it. And of course, it's not finding it. Where is it? Why is it not finding it? Let's come back over here. What the heck? Maybe it's stranded. There's one issue with the stranded inventory stuff. It doesn't always correlate. Let's pop it down a little bit more to see. Maybe it's further down. There it is. So yeah, I was just a little further down. All right, so we've already got. Have I sold this one before? The Be Cool is already filled out, 210 to 199. So I might have sold this one before, or I already have one in stock. So there's where Seller Amp comes in handy. Seller Amp is just another tool that I use, and it really just kind of brings everything into one place. Your quick info, which is like pretty much your can you sell it, are you eligible, what's your IP complaint issues, your profit calculators, Google spreadsheet. But this right here is what we're going to use right now, the Amazon Seller Central kind of like gate. So you'll, whenever I have like, have I sold this before, I'll hit click orders, and if I have, then it will pop up right here, which I haven't. And so then my next question is, okay, well, do I have this in inventory? So I'll click right here and I'll look to see if I have more in inventory, which I don't. That's strange. So maybe I'll come down here to the Be Cool spot and I'll open it up. So what I might have done is I might have updated the Be Cool like once I purchased it, just to see like kind of where I was at, which that's another deal that you can do. I find it hard just because to update before, because of the condition issue. I don't, you know, I sell used books, so the problem is knowing which condition of book you're gonna get if you do it right away. Looks like I lucked out and guessed right on this one, and I got a good book back, and so it's all updated for me right there, which doesn't really happen very often. So all right, so that's zeroed. Got fundamentals of phonetics. So that one was pretty easy since we already had Be Cool updated and it was 0. Sometimes that's kind of nice to have. All right, so we'll move on to here. 3361. So I'll pop over here. Fundamentals of phonetics. There we go. Okay, so now we have this one where we have bought it for 33.61. Pop it up over here, 33.61. And now we'll see where we want our min and max price. Phonetics. And then keep a. So we do have 3361, 136. What do we want here? What do we want here? Okay, so definitely a college book. This pops up to 154.16, even higher sometimes. We'll say 173. How's the used offer count? It is rising, so I can't say that I would confidently say that it's going to get to that high of a price again. But I bet you it would. What did we buy this for? We bought it for 33.61. It's definitely going to get into the hundreds again. It's just a question of how much into the hundreds. Let's see. I think we could put it at one. We'll put it at 120 for the max. So we'll go ahead and do that real fast. 120 for the max. As for the low, if we put it at 99, we're still making $119 profit, or sorry, $119 ROI, $40 profit. So we'll drop it down even more. If we did 89, we're still making 93. If we did 80, we're making 71, and then 75. Bring it all the way down to 50. Because I'm cool with it selling at 50. So right there, 70. I'll probably put the minimum at 70. That still gives me 45% ROI and $15 of profit. And my prep center fees are baked into this profit calculation, and dollar miscellaneous fee is also baked in. So could get more, could get less with that. But this is what I consider the true number, what's going to sell. That's the number that's going to pop up if it sells for that price on right here for my spreadsheet. So that's kind of the number I go off of. It's being a little more conservative, just making sure that my numbers are not inflated. I'd rather than be deflated and I find out I made more money than what I thought. Wait, did I say 70? Yeah, 70. All right, throw this rule on there, and boom. All right, that's about it. Just wanted to get on here, kind of go over my admin work with you guys. Sales are a little low during this season, but you gotta go through this season. It's not something that we can avoid really. But wait till August comes and see these updates. They'll really pop off. I'll be saying a lot more numbers and having to do a lot more work with checking books in and recording what sold and whatnot. But everything that all the tools that I used today, except for Be Cool, I have links in the description down below if you want to check them out. But thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.